Yo, 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 what's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Nate the Great coming at you with another live. You already know if you're new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. To all the returning friends and family, you already know it's peace and blessings. Give y'all some time to tune in case these notifications ain't go out. Probably didn't. Just popping in on the people real quick. First things first, you already know. Hopefully, everybody having a blessed and productive Monday. Hopefully, everybody ready for the new week. Hopefully, everybody is feeling well rested and enjoyed their weekends overall. Those celebrating birthdays or that celebrated over the weekend, hopefully, y'all enjoyed your day, made every moment of your day truly special and blessed. Jared, what's going on? London, baby. Just Jay, baby. See y'all in here. See y'all in here. Hopefully y'all enjoyed your weekends. You know, I wish I could have said the same, but y'all already know when you hear that voice. It's plantation. That's why. Yeah. Exile, what's going on, my guy? Sticks, what's going on, bro? What's going on? I hear you, London. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm outside right now. Those in the city right now. You out and about right now. Enjoy every moment of it. It feel like it want to fake rain, y'all, but it's actually sunny. But the breeze feel good. It's not as humid, not as hot. So if y'all ain't got no breathing problems, no type of real issues, you already know. Try to get yourself out. I know it been a minute. I know. I ain't been too tough on here outside of the shorts. Man, something for good reason. So I do kind of believe in that balance. So, we're gonna talk about it for a little bit while I'm out here. But I do appreciate those who did tune in previously for that last live. Definitely was a great little discussion. Yeah. I did actually pop up the other night, but just to give like a little safety warning, especially for those living in complexes. It don't matter what state you live in, because apparently we got too many damn fires going on across country that a lot of it is unexplainable. A lot of it is just malicious. But like I said, we're gonna talk about it. I'm good, Sticks. Enjoyed the day off yesterday. And back to the grind later on today. So, yeah, but I had to check in with the people real quick. Now, I'm still gonna give that fair warning. And before I do give that fair warning, I didn't forget about this. Wait, I did not forget about this. Yeah, yeah. But again, I do appreciate everybody that did tune in. And for those that missed it, yeah, y'all could go in the search engine and do what you do. I still want to give a fair public service announcement to those who need to hear that. It don't matter where you at, what state you in. If you're living somewhere within a complex building or anything along those lines, anything that seems to be enclosed, take whatever unnecessary bulky garbage and toss that sucker in its proper places. Like I said before, it's crazy how, there's other people that are sharing the same space as you're sharing. And being reckless and come on now. It common sense would tell you, even if you do need help or assistance, right? Try to get somebody that you can to help you with some of these items. You already know, appreciate you, London, baby. I mean, I just been taking my, and like I said, this is what a real content creator looks like to a degree. I mean, sometimes you gotta really like unplug, and I think that's the strongest thing you can do. Sometimes is just unplug. You get into deeper perspective on things. And besides, I'm a man first before anything. So when I gotta take care of what I gotta take care of, I know, I'll be gone for a little bit, but when I come back, we be talking again. So, it ain't nothing. But I do want to say this though, for real. Some of y'all people definitely need to start doing a little bit more better and start actually being more concerned with the safety of others, especially in those vicinities. Because again, it could take any little thing to spark a fire, especially in a closed area. Now imagine again you walking out your house and not aware there was a fire. You got hella smoke coming through your house. You got kids with you. This is what I'm saying. Like nobody. It's amazing how people say they think about others and they think about the safety of others, but then it's stuff like this that happens and it makes you think. How could you actually say you're thinking about the safety of others when you just put others in danger by leaving certain things in the area that it could be a fire hazard? Again, like say you value life. So that means you're supposed to value not just yours, but the people around you. Y'all share the same spaces. Uh, you know, we all get it. Like I said, groundskeepers, yes, they get paid to keep the areas clean and keep whatever clean. Oh, all that. But in the same token, it's also up to the people who live there to do their part too, especially when these people are off the clock. It's not like it's 24 hours a day, so it's just things like that people don't be taking into consideration until it's too late. So, it's time we as a people start doing a little bit better. There's nothing wrong with trying to, you know, keep up where you live, basically. And that's the thing, though. When it's all said and done, people will be displaced. Some people could possibly get hurt. You got to think about how many people live in these areas or have been living in these areas for God knows how long. And once they get displaced, then what? Or if somebody gets severely hurt because they inhale too much of that smoke and flames. Again, that's critical, and that could be a loss of life. Now, luckily, the last couple fires I heard about wasn't no real casualties in that, but it's just it's a scary thing. And I get it. Sometimes things do happen. Sometimes you will get an electrical malfunction. Sometimes, you might have people who don't give a damn. Just like the other day, again, watching people do stupid stuff knowing that it could cause a serious problem. Like, why would you watch somebody try to set a garbage can on fire when you know it's plastic bags? And, like, it's stuff like that. That's stupidity. Angela, baby, I see you up in here. Isaiah, baby. Oh, shoot, what's going on? See you up in here. Who else did I miss? My fault if I missed anybody. Let me I gotta turn my screensaver higher. It's so bright out here. Hold on. It's so bright out here. I don't lie to you. So, and that's the thing. You're right, Six. That is. You got some people that do immature things. Like if you know that this could be a deadly situation or turn into one, why would you be around it or present it? I would say for those who, prime example, it's not just young people or young adults that live at these complexes. You got older folks, you got infants, you got toddlers, You got special needs, you got handicapped. My fault. They don't like to be called that. Disabled, either mentally or physically, right? You ain't thinking about those people. You got people who probably got oxygen tanks because they can't breathe right, so on and so forth. So many different elements. And for the fact that, again, in some cases, it's almost like y'all don't care. The common sense would tell you if you keep your garbage the way you're supposed to keep it, you won't have those situations that close by. You know, because again, you won't have people that do stupid, idiotic stuff and that be out of order. And an idle mind is the worst type of mind to have because you end up getting into any and everything just for the sake of because you're saying you bored and you need something to get your adrenaline rushing. You know, like come on now. You know, it's starting to get to a point now where it's like, what is it going to take for some of y'all to really just get it together and stick to it? Because again, yes, groundskeepers are getting paid to do what's necessary, and again, that's during the day. But during the evening portions, that's up to y'all, the people. That's you're supposed to at least do as much as possible, so it don't become an issue. Marlene, baby. Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. It's crazy. Again, like with the previous situations, again, it's not like it's just young adults in there where they can just get up out of there quickly if something really does get serious. No, you got a whole different group of people that live in the same vicinity. So again, not everybody gonna be able to just up and run the hell up out of here. Some people live on higher floors, so it's gonna take them longer to get downstairs. It's like again, just at what point do you say enough is enough? And at some points, you gotta remember, too many fires in certain areas, especially on the complex areas. At some point, you're gonna have to either redo the building or redo certain spots so the foundation don't get weak. There's common sense right here. Like think about others before you just decide to do something random. I mean, yeah, I mean, come on. I mean, it's common sense, Marlene. You see this already. Like, all right, prime example. Again, for those who need to hear that, if you know you having some sort of health issues to where it's hard for you to do certain things or move certain items out of your house, find somebody that you know for a fact is responsible and have them help you out. Even if you got to flag down one of the groundskeepers themselves for assistance. Then it's not like they ain't gonna help you. The main thing they don't want neither is bulky stuff just sitting in the area because again, it creates a hazard. So it's time to start really taking safety and precautions to the extremes now because it's just like it's too many of them. Like I said, I can understand when it's certain situations that's just it's unavoidable, but when it's things that can be avoided, I'll put everybody at risk. And for those that like to be stupid and just spark fires, I'm sorry because that's stupid. I don't care what thrill you think you get out of that. There's no thrill in having to worry about a major disaster happening because of your negligence and your ignorance. Sorry. And that's just real talk right there. Because what safety measures are you really practicing when you putting everybody at harm's risk? It's time for everybody to start working together. And that's the thing people fail to realize. We all got to work together. Yes, they supposed to do these things, but when they clock out of work for that day, guess what? That's up to y'all. Unless you live in a private building where there's always going to be some form of a superintendent or something there, or maintenance or somebody there to do whatever. For everybody else, like, do your part. Stop being trifling and lazy. And if you ain't going to do it during the day, at least do it at some point during the evening. You see, that's what I'm saying. Like, again, if they living in private situations, then yeah, they always gonna have somebody on site. But when it comes down to those that's in the public, like y'all fail to realize that when they clock out for the day, they clock out for the day. Unless it's some sort of emergency where they gotta come back, they done for the day. See you in the morning. It's just, again, it's time to up the ante on safety. Because again, you know, life is precious, man. And it's crazy how y'all would sit here and say that, oh, I try to do everything possible for whatever, but in the same token, you cause into the madness. You got people who honestly don't give two hells about anybody or themselves to begin with. So this is another reason why you should try to keep certain things to a minimum. So there's not that type of problem. Yeah, and again, y'all got to think about the other people that's included. It ain't just about y'all at the end of the day. God forbid if an infant lost their damn life because you decide to spark a fire somewhere instead of just taking your ass out somewhere and doing something with your life. Go find something else to do. This is why I said idle mind be the worst thing for some people. It's coming to fruition that at some point it's going to get to a situation where everybody could be displaced. And then what? If y'all don't have an optional or plan B, then what? You either going to be in the streets or you going to be shacking it up with somebody until you get something else. Y'all got to think about the big picture. Again, it's about safety. Nobody should have to worry about walking outside their house, especially with kids. And they got backdraft and smoke coming on it. Like, come on now. Sky, what's going on? Y'all already know if y'all just tuned in, hit the like button. I said, just came to tap in with the people real quick. I'm just giving a fair little service announcement. I don't care what state you're in, because again, if you live in somewhere where you're going to be enclosed in certain areas, why put yourself in that type of danger? Or why put others in danger because too trifling and lazy to move the garbage? Or you just not insisting on getting help when you need it? For those that say they value life but show otherwise, man, listen, it's time to reset, time to refocus. In the Ha Davis voice, let's regroup. Because again, like, there's nothing spontaneous, there's nothing enjoyable about sitting here causing situations that again could be damaging on all cylinders. Somebody, God forbid, got to prepare for a funeral because of somebody's ignorance and just the sheer lack of respect. And I think that's the thing that most people have lost that respect on all cylinders. Hey, hey, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. I could be tripping. I could be. You know what I'm saying? It's time that we stop putting ourselves in these situations where now it's gonna be critical. Now you're gonna have to take certain measures that you wouldn't want to have to take in the first place. But it's just a quick warning to some of y'all. what what makes you laugh could also make you cry. Oh, when you laughing at these type of scenarios and situations, or you want to front like you can't be a part of the solution, But guess what? You're gonna cry later when it affects you one way or another. Some things that can never be avoided. Life is unpredictable. But in the same token, there are some things that should be a constant reminder. You know what? Before this becomes a dangerous situation, let me discard this in the right areas. Let me make sure that my neighbors is good just in case. If anybody decides to be stupid and do something that they shouldn't be doing. Yeah, but just my bad, y'all. I did it again. I gotta stop pressing this button. But just it's time to level out the playing field. See, some people will complain about certain things, but they not trying to be part of the solution to help these things come to fruition. And I think it's going to get to a point where, guess what? They might start having people come around, and when they do come around and notice certain things, especially near your complex or whatever the case is, guess what? They gonna be on it like that. A lot of y'all will end up getting your lease or getting whatever canceled in a minute. Oh, you breached the contract. You got to go. Then what you gonna do then if you ain't got a plan B? Telling you, like, it's time to start thinking about others instead of thinking about yourself. Selfless is always better than being selfish. But yeah, I had to say that again because that's all you've been hearing about lately. It's either fires. Oh, another thing again for those that are traveling in the city, around the city, or anything involving the subways for that matter. It's always an important thing to again just be aware of your surroundings and try to pay close attention, especially when you're in close quarters. You know, you got an epidemic of different situations happening, crimes that are being committed, and not so much being committed by unstable folks. It's being done by people who, in my opinion, right now is desperation. And I believe at some point it's going to get worse for people. So if you're traveling around, you're doing certain things, especially on the train, pay close attention. If something don't feel right, you take the necessary steps. Again, you are supposed to preserve and protect your own life. And that's how it all goes. And if you're not able to do that at that point, then again, you try to get some form of help or you try to alleviate the situation the best way possible. Like I said, I feel like it's going back to the old New York City to a degree. Everything is definitely unpredictable, especially on these trains. And again, if y'all traveling, especially in the late night, make sure you pay close attention to everything. If something don't feel right and you feel like you got to transfer to the next car, then go do so. Yeah, I had a couple. Well, we don't have what 2, 3 stabbings. One person pistol whipped, violently robbed for something simple as a phone. Like I said, it's getting back to those times. People are doing a lot of crazy and desperate things right now. The things you think they wouldn't steal, they stealing it. So, you could tell in some cases, it's going to come to a halt. It's only so much you can do, but again, just try to protect yourself at all costs. And take the necessary steps in protecting you. And if with your family, it's the same thing. You know, I hear you. Listen, London, anywhere where there's subways or subway system, trust me, you're gonna have unpredictable situations, but there are some situations that can be avoided. You know, when you feel like you got more than one person eyeing you, or just they feel like they tailing you, you do what you got to do. You know, again, it's about protection of yourself, because these people nowadays seem like they don't care. Like I said, we had a situation where a 59-year-old woman got sexually attacked by a whole young boy. It could have got worse, but like I said, I don't know if they found that boy yet or not. But shoot, if they don't, the streets will. Because remember, there are certain crimes that if you partake in them, ain't no coming back from that. Because at some point, you're gonna get found out. Like in that situation right there, it's scary because again, nobody's expecting that. And yes, we live in a world where it's unpredictable. We have some people who are sociopaths. We have some people who are just plain evil, vindictive. We got people who, could be suffering from mental health and mental illness and disease. There's a lot of different scenarios that factor into things, but it's crazy that, again, in some cases, people are not standing up and uniting the way they're supposed to. Again, you want these things to change, but in the same token, you're not willing to do what's necessary for the change. So, again, speaking against yourself, what's going on? Hold on 1 second. I'm calling your truancy officer. Don't worry. I told you I'm calling your truancy officer. You supposed to be in school. You're supposed to be in school, young man. What's going on? Oh, you playing hooky today because it's hot?
No, it ain't hot, Bubba.
All right, man. Listen, I'm calling the truancy officer in a second. Don't worry. Let me call Big Bertha real quick. I'm tired of this real quick. My bad, y'all. I had to mess with the residents. You know how I do it. But yeah, it's truth right there. You gotta just, you just gotta know that things can happen in the blink of an eye. But you gotta just be wise and be precise when it comes down to balancing it out. But all in all, though, it's getting real different now, y'all. And again, it's about protection. It's about just doing what's necessary. Again, preservation of life. And for a lot of y'all like to go out to these events, even have the children with you. Make sure that the children are home at a certain time, because this is where it's coming to right now. It's not going to be safe to even have your kids out after a certain time, because it can get dangerous. It can get unpredictable. Right now, the weather is starting to get nicer now in most places. So, a lot of the nonsense that wasn't transpiring during the winter is about to happen during the summer. And I'm going to also say this for those: be safe in whatever events you're doing, whatever events you're going to with your kids, because no matter how hard people are trying to keep certain events peaceful, some people just don't care. If my mood is ruined, then everybody's going to be ruined. That's a sad mindset for some people to live in. Like I said, self-improvement. That's the best thing in life, self-improvement. But we also got to be united on these fronts, because if we want these events to remain peaceful, then we got to eliminate the nonsense. Look, if you want to come in here with this drama and this, no, you can't come in here. Everybody else is having a good time, and again, why mess up a good time because you're in a foul mood, or because you've seen somebody you don't like and now you want to do something to them? Save all of that for outside. That's just like they tell you when you come to work: leave whatever problems outside when you come in the work field, because that can sit here and cause a whole disruption. A disruption where you'll either get sent home or possibly get fired. Or if somebody ticked you off the wrong way, now you done fully crashed out. These are things people got to think about. When you go into these community events, or you go into certain events where it's going to be children involved, save all your nonsense for another time. And I'm speaking to the adults because, and I'm also speaking to the teens too that hear this, because there's a lot of y'all too that do a lot of nonsensical stuff for no reason. How they say you making a block hot? Chill out. You know, if it's not that deep, there's no need to go that deep. So why you have to be in control of your emotions at all costs. But yeah, you know, it's like I said, a nice day today. Just want to chime in with the people, see what's going on. I know I ain't really been on here like that, but you know, like I said, just been taking care of situations, and you know, life been life. So, but you know, when you don't get some form of content, hey, you already know. Like I said, sometimes you gotta detach because you got things you need to take care of. You know, every moment is valuable and every moment is precious. So, like I said, while you're still able to breathe and do what you gotta do, take care of the necessary things. You know, growth and elevation is definitely something that people speak about but don't live about. See, I'll be honest with you. Sometimes it's good to detach, even from the world itself. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's not about being ice cold or anything along those lines. It's just about deeper introspective, you know, introspective on things. So just know when some people do detach, it's for good reason. And also, if people detach, that could be bad for some people. Monique, baby, what's going on, sis? You know, in life, you're gonna go through some ups and downs. You're gonna take your bumps and bruises, but you know, long as you able to breathe and see another wonderful day, you can tackle anything possible. You got people who can't take the smallest pressures in life and have, you know, tucking themselves out or could possibly think about doing that. Again, you never know where somebody's mental strength is at. You never know where somebody's mind could be at. You never know what people are going through. And sometimes all it takes is the slightest trigger, and that be it. How you doing? All right. I've been cooling, Monique. Plantation vibes, you know. It's getting about that time, so you know it's about to be extremely busy. So, but you know, just enjoying the weather today. So let me just chime in with the peoples. I know I ain't really been going live too hard. Shout outs to Riders too for that. Shout outs to Riders for that song that she. I like that, sis. Spoke values for real, man. Spoke values. No, not yet, sis. I'm thinking about it, but right now I'm not gonna lie. I kind of enjoy that little piece. I don't have a dog barking at the door wild crazy. I'm not jumping up out my sleep. I'm actually coming home and resting the way I'm supposed to rest. Them third shifts sometimes really be a killer. It could be a killer on you mentally and physically sometimes. So, like I said, I'm thinking about getting another one. I already got some people trying to give me one right now as we speak. Like, yeah, you know. I also had some people that wasn't even aware of that situation and said, wait, what? What do you mean my little man gone? He gone. But like I said, I'm thinking about that. And that's another thing too. Sometimes you gotta detach because you got serious things you want to think about. You know, again, you know, you want to try to do and get the most out of life regardless to what age you at. And that's been the thing. So, sometimes you gotta detach, and when you detach, it could be for either good reason or it could be for bad reason. But the choice is up to the people that's around you. So just know when I detach, it's for good reason. You know? But yeah, and I'm thinking about getting one. Like I said, I'll figure that out. I'm good. Hey, I'm good. There you go. It ain't start yet. Hold on 1 second, yeah. Hold on. Yeah, but my bad, y'all. All in all, though, and you gotta remember, you know, sometimes that's the best thing because it gives you deep, deep introspective, get a deeper process of things, and then you know how to move from it. Like whatever plans you might have in life, or whatever plans of elevation you might have in life, you got to go through the processes. So that means you got to have a lot of patience and critical thinking. It's really about it. So, sometimes it's good because again, that's also a stress reliever. Because again, you in a world where you are constantly going to be stressed out regardless. Even when you at your happiest point, you're going to feel some forms of stress. But your mental health is the most important thing more than anything too. So, whatever you got to do to preserve peace, get you some mental clarity, do what's necessary. Hey, y'all give me 1 second because I'm about to mess with my uncle real quick while it's nice out here. But I appreciate y'all for rocking out for this little bit. And like I said, just wanted to chime in with the people, discuss a few things. What's going on? Unc? I see it in your face now. And it ain't good. It ain't good. Yeah, but it's got I'm about to get bombarded, y'all. Hold on. I got everybody on me. What's good? But yeah, it's imperative that you do that sometimes, y'all. Sometimes the best feeling to do, you know, is do what works for you. And if it's gonna prosper in any form, in any shape, hey, you embrace it and you follow that path. Greatness has no limits. You know, you could be great at any age, no matter what it is you're doing. But yeah, it's always a good look. It's always a good look to just, it's always a good look to just, take that necessary time when you need to. Go ahead. I actually will. One. Yeah, I know. I see it in young. Come on, young fella. Let's try this again. I got to the doctor Thursday. Yeah, man. Hopefully everything goes smooth with your appointment. All right, man. Love you. Love you too. Huh? All right, man. Yeah, my bad, y'all. But yeah, when you detach from certain things, you see things clear. From the outside looking in, you get a deeper meaning to things. So again, no matter what it is you're trying to accomplish in life, keep taking the necessary steps until you get to that point. But when you get to that point, you also got to remember to maintain and sustain it. So if you're working towards certain goals in life, the best motivation for you to keep yourself motivated is remember what you're doing it for. Not who you're doing it for, but what you're doing it for. But yeah, it really is a nice day today. Felt like I had to get these things out overall because, somebody out there might hear it or might need that inspiration. Again, you're supposed to get the best and do the best in life, but you still have to put in the footwork and the necessary steps. You're going to always get some form of pressure. You're going to deal with stresses. That's just a part of life. But you have to keep yourself balanced and in tune and remember the main focus. As much as you feel like you don't want to do it, you got a reason to do it. So whether you're a content creator, whether you're a life creator, whatever. I said life creator because whatever you create or whatever you put into your life, it becomes something. If you manifest it right, trust me, it becomes a reality. So, keep yourself motivated. Again, remember what you're doing things for. And if you are trying to build for a better tomorrow for your future generations and the family tree, then hey, that should be all the motivation you need, regardless to what's going on. But yeah, all in all, though, you good. Give me 1 second. But hopefully somebody did get some form of motivation out of this today. Because again, nothing in life is ever going to be fair. Nothing in life is perfect. Things are always going to be unpredictable. You could be up 1 minute, you could be down the next. But when you're down, you don't stay down long. And that's on all cylinders. That's not just physically nor mentally. That's spiritually. You don't stay down long. You gotta eventually rise up to the occasion, and you're just gonna have to keep moving forward with what's been given to you. You hold the cards of your life in your hand. So you can either shuffle the deck again or, play all 52. But the goal is, again, do what's right for yourself. Make sure that you are pushing towards your ultimate goals. And make sure you do it with no fears, no hesitations. Oh. But yeah, all in all, though, just a helpful hit of advice. Nobody could walk in your life and walk in your shoes better than you. Nobody could walk a mile in your shoes because they probably wouldn't be able to bear it. So you do what's conducive to your life. You try to grow and elevate on all cylinders. And don't let the world pressure you. if any pressure, it should be coming from yourself. Because we know we pressure ourselves to try to do greater and better things. But also remember that it does take time to get some of these things corrected and get them in order. So overall, just wanted to chime in with the people real quick. Um, Give or take, I'll probably try to come back. If not tonight, I'll probably be back tomorrow. I just wanted to chime in with the people, especially the main ones, let them know everything good. You know, again, it's always good to unplug and detach, especially when, yeah, almost at a boiling point. Again, regulate what you need to regulate and try to keep your stress levels to a minimum. Like I said, just was a nice little wrap up with the people. And I appreciate everybody that rocked out, those in the shadows. I know some of y'all active right now doing whatever. Hopefully y'all all enjoying yourselves. Like I said, if I'm not back later, I could be back tomorrow. But while you out and about right now, for those that are out and about, if you ain't on the plantation right now and you're getting the chance to enjoy things for the moment, get out there and go do what you got to do. But yeah, I appreciate y'all for rocking out. Appreciate everybody that's been a part of the build, still becoming a part of the build. And yeah, we still gonna have these great talks and conversations. Shout out to my brother Word too, because shoot, we just wrapped up about something the other night. And I think that'd be a good collab, at least from the both perspectives that we come from. So I'm gonna start delving deep into certain other aspects, but I feel like it's time for it. Conversations just got deeper. So prepare for it. And if you ain't prepared for it, find somewhere, duck for cover, because it's coming full force. But yeah, y'all go enjoy the rest of y'all mornings, afternoons. I already know it's evening in certain places. And for everybody else that's further in, I already know. What is it? It's already Taco Tuesday. And don't forget my Taco Tuesday plate. So, one thing I will say, though, before I get up out of here for real is, again, every moment of life is precious. The one thing you should remember is never be taken for granted. And don't let people think that they can take you for granted. When people just walk out, hey, it's for a good reason. When people walk away, it's for a good reason. Well, at least the good people, when they walk away, it's for a good reason. So, and sometimes that is the best thing. Again, if certain things just ain't conducive to you, if it's causing some form of stress, if it's not doing you any service at all, if it's creating negative actions and negative feelings towards anything, you got to get rid of it. Because again, your mental health and your spiritual health is the most important thing. Your physical health is always going to be the first important thing, but it gets deeper. Like I said, there's levels to it. And we're going to have these talks. So, the one thing I will say about detachment is that in some cases, you'll never know it because it already done happened. So, but yeah, let me get my ass up out of here. Let me go enjoy the sun, go enjoy this nice breeze. Like, I could possibly be back later. I might come back and do a little something. So, y'all stay tuned. If y'all was new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Shout out to the replay gang. Shout out to the Shadow Mafia and the Shadow Babies. Y'all know what it is, baby. For everybody that was in attendance today, y'all already know that love is love and it'll be reciprocated as such. I don't know how to be fake. All I can do is give you real. That's all I'm gonna do is give you real topics and real bills. And yeah, we'll be back with it. Like I said, the conversations are about to get deeper, so there's more coming. And there's more coming. Not much. But yeah. For those celebrating birthdays again, enjoy another year and another blessing around the sun. Enjoy every moment of it. Keep creating memories. And again, if you was blessed to see another year, give your praises where it's due. You got those who didn't get a chance to wake up this morning, and you got those who might not make it through the night. So enjoy every moment. Y'all stay safe. Keep that third eye open. And until the next live, we out of here. Peace and blessings.